Hi, welcome to the Sheffield International Film Festival. We're delighted to be joined by Ali Cook, the writer, producer, and one of the stars, we shall say, of The Cunning Man. How are you doing, Ali?
I'm good, yeah. Are you okay?
Doing all right. Just getting through this strange time we're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a bit about The Cunning Man. You've got quite the CV in terms of writing. What was it that drew you to this short film project?
A good friend of mine, Zoe Dobson, she directed it, she said to me, she works in documentaries. She's always wanted to go into scripted. And she said, I want to film something on my brother's farm in Wales. So we already had the location. And she said, I've just had this idea that there's an old mysterious man walking down the hill carrying a dead dog. These are the sort of things she dreams up. And she goes, and I want to know why. And then instantly, out of nowhere, I came up with the answer, which was, well, have you ever heard of a cunning man? Now, I'm really into the history of magic, and it just seemed to fit. So a cunning man is actually an old job that happened in Britain. There used to be these doctors, particularly in the countryside, sort of Middle Ages up to Victorian times. And they were basically the local GP before the NHS, but they would heal people and animals. And when conventional medicine failed, they would use witchcraft.
What's wrong with it? Well, what could possibly go wrong with a bit of witchcraft?
I know. What could happen? What could go wrong with a spell?
So have you written many short films before?
Well, I come from a sort of comedy and entertainment background. So I've certainly written a lot of sort of sketches, and I've certainly written a lot of little online films. But this was the first time I've done a proper short on, you might say, film quality production values. Yeah, so it's my first real short film, I would say.
Cool. And is it so? You obviously also act in the film.
Yeah.
Which is your? I mean, I'm going to make you pick between them now. But which is your main passion? Is it the writing side of things, or is it more the acting that you?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think I enjoy acting the most because I think I always find all acting exciting. I don't mind doing fringe plays, stage, film or TV. It's all the same. I really enjoy it. But in terms of writing, I think I have weird hobbies, and because of that, I tend to come up with stories where everyone goes, huh? Because I'm just into weird stuff. I don't know anyone else who knows what a cunning man is. So I seem to have quite a unique voice, but there was no intention there. But my hobby is reading the history of magic, so I tend to come up with these sort of tales.
Fair enough. So what other weird hobbies do you have then, other than the history of magic?
History of magic, I suppose a layman's interest in psychology, I guess. I like esoteric psychology, you might say. Things like metaphysics, I find that really interesting. I just find it fascinating that someone like Isaac Newton told the world that he was actually an alchemist, and then we tell everyone at school that he's a scientist.
Yeah.
So I just find those kind of it feels like that's begging to be made into a film, surely.
I think there was if he'd devoted as much time to science as he did to alchemy, then he probably would have got to where Einstein got to, but he was just too busy trying to extract gold out of his Wii.
Absolutely. I discovered that Keynes, the philosopher, the economist, he'd bought all of his writings, and he used to do lectures on them. I mean, he really was like a full-on wizard. So I just find the fact that things like that actually exist, it's just mind-blowing, basically.
Fair enough. And what's next for you then? What projects have you got in the pipeline at the moment that you could with?
Currently, I have a film in development, a feature film called The Grimoire, which, similar to The Cunning Man, is based on an old book of real magic spells. And that's in development with Harvest Pictures, who's Ross Williams, who also produced my short. And we're out for the main cast on that at the moment. So That we've got Dan Hubbard casting away for us, and we want to get going as soon as we can. Subject to COVID and the world falling apart, really.
Brilliant. And if anyone watching this wants to track down the Cunning Man, see what it's doing in the rest of its festival run, or they want to just follow you and find out about your next project, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so you can follow me online. It's Ali, A-L-I, and then Cook, Ali Cook, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and it's Ali_Cook. And that has all the stuff on the Cunning Man, but also all the other interests that I have as well.
Perfect. So if you want to follow Ali's fantastic acting career, writing career, and bizarre interest in the history of magic and other things, then we'll put the links down here for people to see. Hopefully we'll get to show some more of your projects in the future. It's been lovely to chat to you. Yeah, good luck with everything.
Cheers. Thank you very much.